Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. Today I have come with a chapter that is animal tales. What? Animal tales. So before I begin the chapter, let me write the name of the chapter. Okay? So here we see the serial number of the chapter is 5. Alright? And the name of the chapter is Animal Tales. Animal Tales. Alright? So, first of all, we would like to know what actually tails are. We know that the rear end of an animal's body is called as what? Tails. All right. And we know animals are we know tiger, lizards, elephants. These are all what? Etc. These are all what? These are animals. We know. Generally, we know. There are, but in this chapter, we shall know about the tails of the tail of an elephant and how does it work. Okay, there are many animals living on the earth. On this earth, we see there are different kinds of animals along with us, that human being, along with us, we see there are different kinds of animals. There are living on this planet. Okay, there are uncountable animals we see. Okay, there are dogs. For example, we see there are dogs, cows, cats, lizards, and horses. These we see that these are the animals: dogs, cows, cats, lizards, and horses. There are squirrels, monkeys, elephants, and tigers. Also, we see that squirrels, monkeys, elephants, and tigers. Okay, we see there are fishes, whales, and dolphins. All these animals have tails. But whatever animals we can see here in this chapter, the mention in this chapter, we see that all have what? All have tails. All have tails. Okay, different types of tails we see, different types of tails. Some are thick, some are what? Thin. So different kinds of tails we see in different animals. All right. So all these animals, what? All these animals have tails. Okay, they're different shape. Okay, they're all the animals have do not have the same tails inside. Okay, they all are different. Okay, birds have beautiful tails. Now if you talk about the bird, there we see that birds also have what? Beautiful tails. Birds also have what? Beautiful tails. They use it to change direction while flying. When do they use it? They use their tail to change direction, to change their way, to change their way while flying, to change their way while flying. Suppose they are flying in the sky, they are going towards south. They want to change their way. So at the time, what do they do? They use with the help of tails. With the help of the tails, they use their direction. The peacock spreads its lovely tail in a great show of colors. The peacock spreads its lovely tail in a great colors. In your opponent to page number 34, you can see there is a beautiful what? There is a beautiful peacock. So when do they use their tail? Show their tail. They spread their what? Lovely tail to show colors. They have different what? They have different colors and different colors you will find in what? In peacock's tails. All right. So to show, just to show others, they spread their tails. Okay. Horses and cows have long tails. Horses and cows have long tails. We see horses. Now, if you talk about horse and cow, then we see that they have what? Long tails. As compared to the other, we see that they have long tails. What? They have long tails. The tails have a bushy and are used to swish or fly. We see that here the word bushy means what? Hairy. Means covered with what? Covered with hair. So as compared to, as I said that, as compared to what? The other animals, we see that the horses and the cows have what? Long tails, and also bushy, and the end portion of the tails we see that bushy, means that covered with what? That covered with hair, and are used to switch off flies. Generally, mostly they use their tail to remove their insect, to remove the insect from their body. That is the how they use. The horses and the cows use their tails, okay, when they want to remove anything from their body, any kind of insect, any kind of flies. So at the time they use their tails. The tails of dogs are of different lengths. The tails of dogs are of different lengths and shapes. Okay, the tails of dogs. And now if you talk about dogs, okay, then we will see what? That different lengths and different shapes dogs show their feelings with their tails. Okay. Now if we talk about, or if I talk about the tails of what? Dogs, we see their different size and different shapes also. But generally they make you understand, with the help of their they make you understand what they are feeling. Okay, what they are feeling with their what? With their tails. What they are feeling right now, they will make you understand with the help of their what? Tails. With the help of their tails. They wag their tails when they are happy. Generally, they wave their tails when they are happy. Just wave their tails when they are happy. When they are in good mood, just they wave their what? Tails. When they are scared, they put their tails between their legs. When they are very much scared, okay, when they are scared of anything or any, yes, when they are scared of anybody or anything, they just keep their tails in between the legs, in between the two legs. On the other hand, cats wag the tails when they are angry. Now, if we talk about the cat, we see that it's totally opposite. They just wag their tails, they just wave their tails when they are angry, when they are very much angry. You might have seen that when the two cats fighting with each other, they just what? Wave the tails, and they just keep fighting with each other. All right. So here we see the cats wag their tails when they are what? When they are angry. Cats wag their tails or wave their tails when they are very much angry. All right. Moving on to the next paragraph, we see fishes use their tails while swimming to turn in the direction they want to go. Now, if you talk about fish, okay, we see that generally we see in the water, we see when they swim in the water, okay, fishes, they swim in the water. Suppose they want to change the direction, so with the help of the tails, they will change the direction. With the help of the tails, they will change their way. You might have seen in your pond or in a lake that suppose there is a fish which is going towards south. Now he want to go somewhere else. So with the help of his tail, you will see, with the help of his tail, he will just change his direction. He will just change his way. All right. A squirrel has a long and bushy tail. A squirrel also have what? Like long and bushy. Means that is covered with what? Hair. As I said earlier, the tail helps it to keep balance as it hops from branch to branch. Here the word hops is jump. Okay. So the squirrel actually, what do they do with? How do they use the tails? The squirrel, they use the tails with the help when they want to jump from one branch to one tree to another tree, one branch to another branch of a tree. So at the time they use their tails. They want to jump. At the time they use their tails. It also uses the tail to keep warm. Here we see they also use the tail to keep their body warm, hot. They just use their tails. Now let's talk about what? A monkey. Here we see a monkey's tail is long and slender. Here the word means slender, means slim. If you talk about monkey, here we see that the tail of a monkey is what? It's long and slender, a bit long and slender, thin. It uses its tail like another hand to hold on to the branches as it swings on trees. So generally they use their tails they use their tails. Listen to me very carefully. They use their tails just like one more hand, just like the other hands. Okay, if you talk about see that they have generally see once again it uses its tail like another hand. Like another hand, he can use his tail like another hand. So with the help of its his what tails, he can jump from one tree to another tree. Suppose he wants to swing anywhere. So with the help of its what tails, he can swing, he can jump. So he can just like as simple as that. I can say that he can use his tails just like his hand. Okay. The same thing he can does with his tail. Do you know that long ago even we had tails? Do you know, my children, that even long time ago we had a tail too. But what happened next? You see, this was many years ago when we were monkeys. But earlier we used to call a monkey. Okay, so long time ago once we were monkey. Okay, that time we had a tail. Okay, now afterwards what happened? You see here, the tail becomes shorter and shorter as the early humans started to stand straight. So it becomes shorter and shorter. The tail becomes shorter and shorter as the early humans started walking straightly. Okay, so it becomes shorter and the tails becomes shorter and shorter as they started walking straight. We still have a tailbone, though, which is all that is left of our tails. Still, if you see that it is there in our body, the tailbone, which is there in our body, that which was left, small portion of the tail still left, we can see in our body. All right. So this is all about the chapter. Moving on to the next. Also, we see here, there is a poem, there is a small poem that I want to complete here today. So my shadow. In this poem, we see that shadow means we all know that a dark area or shape produced by a body coming between rays of light and a surface. Okay, generally it appears, the shadow appears in the sunlight. So here the same thing. The sun is shining bright today. Look, my shadow come to play. Now a boy is telling everything to another boy and his friend. Okay, so he's telling what? The sun is shining bright today. Look, my shadow. Shadows come to play. So suppose the sun is shining bright today, bright in the sky. All right. So if you go out, generally the shadow will come out. The shadow will also come. Whatever you will do, the same thing will do. Shadow will do. All right. So he's the same thing. He's telling to his friend that look, the sun is shining bright today. Look, the sun is shining very bright in the sky today. Look, my shadow comes to play. Look, my shadow comes to play. Though he has taken along with him, he has brought a what? Ball, we can see, football. So he was playing in the sunlight. So similarly, whatever he will do, the same thing it will appear. The shadow will we will get to see the shadow will doing the same thing. If you follow, suppose if you raise your hand in the sunlight, then automatically your shadow will do the same thing. All right. I move my arm. I shake my shoe. My shadow does all that I do. Yes, I said already. Whenever he moves his arm, his legs, whatever he does, just everything, my shadow does all that I do. That his shadow does all the thing. His shadow does all the thing. Whatever he do. Twist and shake and turn about, but when the sun is no longer out, my shadow has to go away, but he will come back another day. But you see that that when there is no sunlight, when the sun sets, we see that there is no sunlight. Okay, so there is no shadow. As that is, he is telling that oh yes, as there is no sunlight, so my shadow has to go away, but he will come back another day. My shadow will come back another day when the sun will come. When the sun will rise again, then again in the same way, my shadow will come back another day. So this is all about the chapter and the poem is. Now I want every one of you to read the chapter and the poem. Afterwards, if you feel any kind of problem, please let me know. I am there to resolve your problem. Till then, study well and take care of yourself. Thank you everyone.